Salaki about that. Just Satan, man. All types of people ringing my bell, looking for stuff, handing me stuff, phones ringing. Oh man. Now, just the other day, it was all quiet. I'm doing other things, and I had time off to do a video, and then here comes all these interruptions. The devil, man. You don't want this understanding to go out. But um, I'm do probably like 15 more minutes of the segment because I gotta take care of something. But I left off at, I believe it was 2 Samuel 1 concerning David when it was reported back unto him concerning Saul's fate. Okay, and we're dealing with the crowns of the heads of crowns of gold aspect of the locusts, is referring to the top officers. So this is 2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 5. And David said unto the young man that told him, How knowest thou that Saul and Jonathan his son be dead? And I'm going to drop down to verse 9. He said unto me again, Stand, I pray thee, upon me, and slay me, for anguish is come upon me, because my life is yet whole in me. That's what the Amalekite said unto David. And then verse 10, So I stood upon him and slew him, because I was sure that he could not live after that he was fallen. And I took the crown that was upon his head. Okay, this is what, I believe the Amalekite said that this is what Saul said unto him. So the Amalekite told David he stood up and slew him, meaning he killed Saul, because I was sure that he could not live after that he was fallen. And I took the crown that was upon his head, and a bracelet that was on his arm, and have brought them hither unto my Lord. So the crown represents rulership, or the crown represents a chief high authority figure. So when these locusts are crowned with gold, that goes to show you that they're chief authoritative figures that are amongst them. You understand? So this is what's going down. So it's possibly what, I would say what, squadron leaders maybe? I don't know. So let's go back to Revelation 9. Okay? So where we left off at, verse 7, and it says, And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold. So this is the top imperial of the army. And their faces were as the faces of men. So let's go to 2 Kings chapter 11, verse 12. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 11, verse 12. And he brought forth the king's son, and put the crown upon him, and gave him the testimony. And they made him king, and anointed him. And they clapped their hands, and said, God save the king. So it might be possible that even Putin, or whoever Russian leader may be amongst them. This is going to be a very, very important members amongst this coalition forces that's forming from Revelation 9. Okay? So when it says their faces like men, it could be possibly a combination of the pilots. John saw maybe the pilots, okay, on top. Well, he could consider the planes like locusts, so the pilots that were flying them were like men. Remember, this is way back when, like what? This is what, 90 AD when John saw this vision? So it's like, what is that on top of the locust? It's just men, faces like men, possibly, but this goes to show that it's dealing with men. Men are part of this regime and battle. So now we go to verse 8 of Revelation 9. It says, And they had hair as a hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. So why would it say hair as women? You understand? So we got to understand that this is another form of parabolic vision or parabolic form. Because he just told you that they had the faces of men. So how it can't be talking or referred to as a woman. Okay, so the hair of woman represents glory or excellency. Okay, although John actually did see woman's hair, okay, but it's not referring to a woman. That woman's hair was symbolic to excellency and glory. Okay, that's what it's symbolic to. All right, let's get the understanding. Let's get Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 1. When an empire is in its glory, is referred to as a she. That's just how it is. Okay? When an empire is in the form of its glory, or when an army regiment is in the form of its glory, is referred to as a she. It's given a female aspect. Let's prove it. Let's get Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 1, and dealing with the kingdom. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, and I'm going to drop down to verse, I'm going to just continue reading. Verse 2, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations. Verse 3, and say, Thus saith the Lord God unto Jerusalem, Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite and thy mother an Hittite, referring to the Aborigines of that land. Verse 3 says, and as for thy nativity, okay, no, Slakia, I want to drop down to verse 7. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, women have breasts, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare. So when you're dealing with the woman hair aspect, it's dealing with the glory of the empire or the glory of a kingdom. So when it said these locusts have hair of women, that represents the glory of their army, the glory of their military. You understand? That's what the hair of the woman represents. Not actually talking about women being in combat or women hair. Okay, no, it's talking about the glory and aspect of this army regiment or this coalition. That's symbolically referring to what this is. Could be the greatest military ever formed. That's basically what is being brought out here. Okay, so let's go back to Revelation chapter 9, verse 8. Okay, Revelation chapter 9, verse 8 states, and they had hair as a hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. So we understand that the hair represents glory and the aspects of the excellency. Okay, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 15. What did Paul say about a woman's hair? What did that represent? 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 15. But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering, okay, or like a veil, okay, which represents the glory of the woman and the excellency and the beauty of it. So basically, that's why we read about how the Lord compared Israel. It said that our breasts were nice and our hair was fully grown. Okay, so that represents excellency of this regime. That's why the angel made it that John saw hair of a woman, okay, upon the locusts. That's what it represents. Okay, so this is all parabolic dark synthesis format. Okay, so let's go back to Revelation chapter 9, verse 8. It said, and they had hair as a hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. So I think I broke down the teeth of the lions aspect in earlier video parts. Okay, I think I went into the book of Joel, I think the first or the second chapter concerning that. As a reminder, I'm going to go back to it again. At least one of the scriptures I think I pulled out, if not, I'm pulling it out now, was Joel chapter 1, verse 6. Okay, alright, so this is the understanding of what we see in Revelation 9. It's not what it appears. Okay, this mainly parabolic form, dark sentences. Joel chapter 1, verse 6. For a nation is come up upon my land, which is the land of Israel, strong and without number. Okay, that represents the ancient Babylonians, as well as it represents basically the invading army of Gog and Magog. Now it says, whose teeth are the teeth of a lion, and he hath the cheek teeth of a great lion. So that's how you know, once again, that invading locust army of with the faces of men, hair of women, meaning glory, excellency, is dealing with an army, a military, or a nation. Okay, so this is the glory of Russia and China combined with the coalition allies of Iran and combined with Egypt, Libya. You know, there's many other scriptures that go into that. Daniel's 11, for example, that's another topic in itself. Ezekiel 38, that's another show I'm going to have to do unless a brother does that already. I might still do one. But that's the understanding given as far as that goes. Okay, so strong power, cruelty, weapons to devour. Kind of similar to what we read in Jeremiah 50 concerning the cruelty of them. Okay, because for you to be able to inflict pain and injury on somebody to the point where they want to die, but instead they don't, they just get tormented and live, that's kind of cruel. You understand? So this is a very cruel army that means to torment and to inflict pain and injury. Okay, without so much as causing many deaths though. Alright, so this is the cruelty that the Most High has put His Spirit upon them to fulfill their particular purposes in that region, setting up for the second coming of His Son to devour everybody. Okay, so let's go back to Revelation chapter 9, verse 8. And it says, and they had hair as a hair of women, and the teeth were as the teeth of lions. So that's the understanding of what that's going to. okay, with their weaponry and their cruelty, like what we read in Joel, the first chapter, the 6th verse. Let's go to Job chapter 4, verse 9. Okay, this is Job chapter 4, verse 9. I want to read something real quick, fast. Well, not really quick, fast, but Job chapter 4, verse 9. By the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. The roaring of the lion and the voice of the fierce lion and the teeth of the young lions are broken. So basically, this is the Lord that's going to, he's building up this mighty army of Gog and Magog and the coalition forces joined unto them for their particular purpose. And he's making it the most mightiest and strongest army that was ever formed on this earth, just so Christ and the angels come back and smash them. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, now verse 11, the old lion perisheth for lack of prey, and the stout lion's whelps are scattered abroad. Now a thing was secretly brought to me, and my ear received a little thereof. And thoughts from the visions of the night when deep sleep falleth on men. Fear came upon me, and trembling which made all my bones to shake. Then the spirit passed before my face, the hair of my flesh stood up. And it stood still, but I could not discern the form thereof. An image was before mine eyes. There was silence, and I heard a voice saying, Shall mortal man be more just than God? Shall a man be more pure than his Maker? Behold, he put no trust in his servants, and his angels he charged with folly. How much less in them that dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, which are crushed before the moth. They are destroyed from morning to evening. They perish forever without any regard of it. Doeth not their excellency which is in them go away? They die, even without wisdom. So this is the Most High showing you that he's above man, and the type of judgment man goes through, guess what? They think themselves to be as of God, but when the Lord finishes with them, he's going to show them that they are nothing. So the excellency of this army is building up to make them believe that, they are above the Lord, they're above God. That's why it tells the 2 Thessalonians, okay, that they think they're God, and they sitteth as God. Okay, and then when you read Daniel 11, which is another breakdown that's in relation to Gog and Magog, the latter verses mainly, not the earlier verses, but the later verses after Antiochus Epiphanes' understanding, the later verses speaks of the latter days, and it says that he will not regard the gods of his fathers. I mean, this is a coalition that believe that they are so strong they are God in themselves. Okay, and then the ones of them that don't really dwell on that aspect, they believe that God is with them in a white suprematic view. So the Lord is going to destroy and smash them, man. Okay, that's basically what the understanding is. He's going to destroy and smash them. Okay, let's go back to Revelation chapter 9. All right, because he's building them up just to destroy them, just like he did with Pharaoh. Revelation chapter 9, verse 8 again. And they had hair as a hair of women, which represents their excellency. And their teeth were as the teeth of lions, which represents their might. But the Lord already told you in Job that he's going to crush them. He's going to crush and break the teeth, okay, of these lions. You understand? So that's a prelude to what the Lord's going to do to this army. That, America feels like they're going to have to join with these other forces to do what they're going to have trouble doing themselves. The Lord's going to come back and destroy all their armies at the same time without no problem. Okay? Okay, this is Psalm chapter 57, verse 4. Psalm chapter 57, verse 4 says, My soul is among lions, and I lie even among them that are set on fire. So these little scattered Israelites are going to be within that region. Even the sons of men, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. You understand? So you're going to have Israelites that are scattered amongst them. The Lord, if there be his will deliver them. Okay, that's within that region of the Gog and Magog invasion. You understand? But the Lord is definitely going to set some fire down upon them, man. Okay? And the sons of men is really what that locust invaded army represents. The sons of men and their army and all the instruments of warfare and the vehicles they travel with to engage in this conflict. Okay? So now, I'm going to close it out on that. Now, verse 9, I'm going to start in another video, which will be, I believe, part 4. Okay, Revelation chapter 9, verse 9, I'm going to start with that in another video when it goes into the breastplates. And this will be all the way down to verse 21. So this will be a mega series on that one. So with that, hopefully, okay, you get the understanding of what I spoke of concerning verses 5 through 8 of Revelation 9 chapter. Sorry for the interruption of it. Okay, but Satan doesn't like when the understanding, the true understanding for the Spirit of the Most High is given out with the precepts, so it causes interruptions and things. Okay, but with that, okay, I say there is no peace save God unto the wicked. Okay, but shalom to the sincere Akim out there. Okay, that have gotten the understanding, will push forth the understanding, and continue to do the work of the Lord as well as engage in His commandments. Okay, despite all the satanic things that are amongst us. Shalom.